Hey everybody, it's Lisa, owner of Peaches Skincare. You can visit us at peachesskincare.com, and I also invite you to follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see a little bit more about who we are and my holistic beliefs in skincare. I answer everything here on YouTube, and I will answer you if YouTube lets me see the comment. Sometimes they don't. I also do consultations. You can pay for them online, but I will also do them free. This is my passion, and I love helping people. Ask with love and kindness below, but you can also email me for a consultation. Today's about questions and answers. So a few of you sent in some questions. I also tried to do a live again with Leedy. And Leedy and I are like Lucy and Ethel. We cannot seem to get our lives to go well. There's always something wrong. But I love her, and one day we're going to get it right. I don't know why we have such a difficult time, but it's so sweet because so many of you tune in, and then by the end we lose you all because it's just not going very well. And she actually pulled down the video this time. So these are a few questions from that. These are a few from people that have emailed me personally and asked, or left a question somewhere. And I hope that maybe these are questions and answers that resonate with you as well. I'm just going to start off. I wrote down a few of them. I'll try not to make the video too long. If you're new to my channel, I am a master esthetician, and actually one of the questions is, what is the difference between a master esthetician and a regular esthetician? So some states do license master estheticians straight out of the gate. Other states, it's just an esthetician. I am a master esthetician because I have worked with physicians, both dermatologists and cosmetic surgeons. I have developed my own line, but I also have been doing this for almost 40 years. And so in my industry, I am considered a master. I teach other estheticians. I have been asked by other skincare salons for advice, or I consult them on how to help their business. With COVID, it's been really tough. And so that's what makes me a master. I understand skin at a much deeper level than just an esthetician would, or even someone new out of school. When someone comes to work with us, for example, they have to go through training with us. Some train very quickly and some take a little bit longer, but we always say their training goes on for a couple of years because there's so many little things that you need to understand about skin. The other thing is, I don't do anything to my face invasively, and I'm not putting down anyone who does. I get that some people feel good about injecting their face or doing those things. But as a master esthetician, if I did all those things, everything I'm showing you would be a lie. I'd be showing you products that apparently work, but really they must not, because I feel I need to inject my cheeks, or I feel I need to use Botox, or I feel I need to use lasers, or any other invasive procedures. So that is what a master esthetician is. And I've also had incredible training because I've been in surgery rooms with cosmetic surgeons and with doctors. And so that's just another way of looking at what a master esthetician does. And if you're looking for a master esthetician, really look for someone who knows skin without trying to get you to do invasive procedures. Look at their face. Are they wearing a lot of makeup? Are they resonating with you on what you think an esthetician should be? Meaning natural, promoting something that really works. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Why so many products, and does it take so much time? Now, I did a video, it might be before this or after this, and I showed you a facial again. So here's the thing. The product line is based on a recipe. And when you do the recipe correctly, the recipe comes out well. We call it a cookie recipe. But here's the thing, you have to exfoliate to loosen all of that old tissue. You have to clean and feed. You have to. You want to lighten and brighten your skin. So my point is, when you find a line that you love, stick with that one line, because each family of products has a purpose. And with Peaches, every ingredient, every product has a purpose. And when you miss one or skip one or stop using one, it's crazy. I will be doing a facial and I can look at them under the magnifier and go, you're not using Luminous, are you? you're not doing your polish or masking with your milk and magnesia. And it's because there's such value to each and every step. Just like every muscle in your body at many times has a different movement to stretch it or to strengthen it, that is why we have such a large product line. And it works. If it didn't work, I wouldn't be in business all these years later. It's when maybe you're misguided or an esthetician tells you the wrong thing. That's the unfortunate thing, but I'm always available to answer. And time. I keep all of my products in the shower except my serums, so all the way to my polish. So when you're exfoliating, if it's a line you're using, keep it in the shower. It should only take you about 1.5 minutes every day. You may add your serums and things, but that doesn't take much longer. I can get ready to go out with Kent. If we're going out to dinner, I can be ready in 20 minutes. I really can. If I'm in a shower, I can be ready in 35 minutes, 30 minutes. I really do not take a lot of time. And I think that when you see us videoing something, whether it's someone showing you makeup or showing you their hair or get ready with me, you know, we're taking time to show you that and explain each product, and that's why it seems like it takes a long time. But the other thing to that, anything worth having is going to take time. If you want to make excuses, make excuses. I'm someone who says, hey, if eating that way makes me feel better, well, darn it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat well. And if I only have 15 minutes to work out today, well, then I am going to work out. And that's how I am with my skin. I very much care about how my skin looks. And I suppose it's because I'm an esthetician for so many of you. All right, why am I so against foundation and concealer? And I think this ties into another question. Did you always have nice skin? I did not always have nice skin. We were very poor when I was young, so my eating habits were poor. I wouldn't say I had flaring acne, but I definitely had milia under my skin. So my skin was incredibly bumpy everywhere. And as I became a younger woman, or in my 20s, I noticed it getting worse because I would say I stopped foundation around 20 years old. I didn't really wear it when I was young, but I remember after marrying Kent, I met Kent when I was 19, I married him when I was 20. I would use this like foam kind of foundation. I had tried different ones and it just got worse. And I was already practicing skincare. I wasn't at the level I'm at yet. And I realized immediately my skin feels so clean, and then I go and put all this junk on it. And the concealers were discoloring a lot of our clients' eyes. I could see it. I could see the eyeshadows doing that. Not that you need to stop wearing eyeshadow, but you'll notice I don't really use a lot of bright colors. And the minute I stopped using it, within days my skin improved. And then my skin improved even more. My skin started making more collagen. My skin was healthier. I wasn't breaking out at my menstrual period anymore. And then I started noticing that on clients. Now you have to remember, hundreds of thousands of clients over 3 decades, 4 decades. When you take a client off of concealer and foundation, their skin improved miraculously. There was more blood flow. They weren't as brown. They didn't have that fungus or redness. And so when you're looking at me right now, I have nothing on my skin. All I have on is my eyeliner and lip gloss. And you can certainly do blush and things, but you will be able to improve your skin if you stop wearing foundation and concealer. Now, is that probably why a lot of other channels don't support me because they do so much foundation and things? I'm sure it is, and I'm sad about that, but you know, I'm just saying before you show them how to put all that on, let's make their skin beautiful and make that canvas look great. Then they can add in all the colors. And many times what you'll find is they have a better result, and or many times they don't even want to put that junk on their face anymore. And everyone's so worried about chemicals in their bodies and the things they're doing to their bodies. Read the label on a foundation tube. That is some bad stuff, a lot of it. And you really don't want that in your skin or on your skin because your skin is the largest organ of the body. Invasive procedures and people doing them. I want you to know you are welcome here. I do look at a lot of people and I think, ooh, gosh, they're doing too much. Her cheeks are getting too big, or, you know, she's really made her lips bigger. And I admit that to you. But I also think they are beautiful. And I wish they could see their beauty without constantly chasing that youth or that 20-year-old. Also, My daughter's a psychiatric nurse practitioner, so on that side, she tells me all the time how social media, how many of the procedures and things are harming people, that they keep chasing that. And I see that in my side of it, the holistic side. They keep chasing that youth. And in fact, there is a new law that is about to be instated, and I think it's going to be countrywide, where no one under 18 can have Botox. First of all, that's so sad that a doctor was even doing it on someone under 18. I mean, it's ludicrous to me. But lastly, I think it should be everyone under 30, because it is such a fallacy that these things are being preventative. They are not preventing anything except muscle movement, and therefore you are not strengthening those 42 muscles of the face, 43 without the neck. And so I do think that I see the other side of it. I see where Botox gets put in the wrong way and they have a really bad droopy eye. I see where maybe 3 years later, 10, 20 years later, they have just done so much. They have no expression. They always kind of look like they're angry, and they stop doing it, and then their face just falls. And it really does happen that way. And for anyone who wants to put a thumbs down or doesn't agree with me, you don't take care of skin every day. This is not your job, and it is my job, and I see it. I have 3 skincare salons. I work with several physicians. I see it all the time. And so I want to teach you how to do things naturally instead of doing such invasive things. You know, so many people are afraid of what goes in their body, and yet they will put botulism in their face. They will put injectables into their face, and it just amazes me every time. And yes, I had one YouTuber say to me, I think it was another channel, maybe it's reverse discrimination. I don't discriminate against anyone. I just want all of you to see that there's an alternative to all of the injectables and procedures. So I hope that explained it. I hope you know you're welcome here, and I hope you learn that let's find a different way to make you feel good about yourself, not a false way. Thoughts on acne, both menopausal, both periods, or during pregnancy. So my belief is that your pores get very clogged. They just keep getting filled. Think of them as cups. Year after year after day of not exfoliating. That callus layer keeps growing, junk gets stuck inside, and those little cups just fill up. And then your period comes, or you get pregnant, or menopause comes, and you retain some more water. So the water's in your skin and kind of pushes all of that oil up, because water and oil don't really mix. You get hotter and you sweat a little bit, and so things get pushed up even more. And then I call it the volcano effect. Everything that's been in there all month or for years just comes out. And many times it can come out in one area. You might notice it in a different area the next month because that cup got fuller. When your skin is clean, when you're listening to what I'm telling you to do and it works, and it may be different than what you've been being taught for years, you will stop breaking out around your menstrual cycle. You will not have a problem after pregnancy, and you will not have a problem during menopause. I never broke out during those things. My clients don't break out during those things unless they're not listening. And here's the epitome of not listening. You've been seeing us for years at Peaches Skincare. You've been seeing your esthetician. And one day I come in to check your skin and I say, hey, are you doing this? And you say, no, I stopped doing that years ago. Or are you wearing your milk and magnesia to bed? Well, it was getting my sheets all white. I don't get that. Wash your sheets. And that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. You want beautiful skin, or you want beautiful anything, take care of it. Or are you wearing foundation and concealer because your esthetician notes that you're not? And then they say to me, yes, Lisa, I only do it a couple times a week. Well, just putting foundation and concealer on your face once can affect 6 weeks worth of skincare and facials. It can affect months of facials, in fact. So I believe that hormones don't break you out. Hormones just change your body to make it hotter, more moist, or more water. You feel more fluffy, more oil, and that pushes out what was already there. And if you don't have something there, there's nothing to push out. So I hope that makes sense. What do I eat? Some of you that are new, I'm a vegan or plant-based. I do my very best. My son is a chef, and his beautiful lady bakes for us, and they do use eggs sometimes. But I really try to have a vegan cookie at night, and I really try to keep myself as plant-based as possible. Really, because it feels good, and I do love animals. So just like Mr. Rogers, who is someone I always admired as a child, I don't eat anything that has a mom, and it feels good for me. I don't love these fad diets. I don't love fad ways of eating, but some of you may think that being a vegan is fad, and that's okay. But it is a way of life for me, a way of eating that is healthy, lots of fruits, lots of plant-based. Some people say, well, you aren't getting any protein, but that's not true. I do get protein through lentils, through beans, through peanut butter if I eat peanut butter. There are so many amazing ways to get protein. So that's how I eat, and I have showed how I eat in a day, and I will do more of those once we get our kitchen and our new home in order. A typical day in my life. Okay. I thought about this. One time we did a video on it, but it just didn't feel right. You were seeing too much of my home, and I do want to keep things private. A typical day in my life is I wake up, yay, I will wash my face with my Restore, and then I'll put Miracle Mask on, and I make the bed. I like to make my bed every day. It just makes me feel good. I then rinse that off, go downstairs. Sammy's already been fed by Kent, but he waits for an apple from me, and I give him a piece of apple. And then I see what needs to be done with the salons or on my YouTube, because I like to make sure I stay ahead of all that. Or with products, I'm very big about making sure the products are good and everything's working out. But as I'm getting older, I do allow others to do that for me. I really need to have more time for me. I mean, I took care of everyone for so many years. It's kind of my time now that the kids are out of the house, and I have people that do amazing for my business. So I typically don't have a cup of coffee until about 10:30, and then I don't eat until about 11, and sometimes I go longer. I am a person who likes to have my house cleaned up. I do it myself. I don't have a housekeeper. We take Sammy for a walk in the morning. We live by the ocean, and it's a beautiful place to be. I have incredible neighbors. We're a very low-key environment, and I need that. I don't like a lot of loud noises in the morning. I had a really tough childhood, and I don't really turn on the TV at all until night. I love to listen to Hawaiian music or just quiet music, and I love to garden when I can. A typical day for me is very active. We might be riding our bikes to the farmer's market. We may walk somewhere, but I really try to find joy in every day, and I think that's the most important thing. And that might mean that Kent and I go to a favorite spot we love, and he'll have a beer, and I'll just have some water, and we'll maybe share an appetizer out on the ocean and just really watch the waves and watch the seagulls go by. We just love that time. We love to ride our electric bikes around. It's an enjoyment for us, but it's our way of finding joy in the day. Being together or being with our children and making sure the day doesn't go by without doing that. We both work very hard, but we also like to have our time to play. So that's kind of a typical day. For a lot of you who ask, I wash my face early in the evening. So I typically eat my dinner anywhere from 4:30 to 5:30. I'm a very early eater, so that I can have either a cup of decaf with a little coconut creamer in it and a vegan cookie. I like to have everything done by about 6 o'clock. Even though I can go till 7, I don't like to. And then I do all of my skincare, but then when we come downstairs, we're TV watchers. I'd love to say we play a game of Scrabble or what have you, but we like to just be down, watch the news, watch a really positive program. We try to watch really positive things and put positive things into our mind. It just feels good for us. And then I'll do my gua sha on things. And then I would say about 9:30, not really much later, we head up to bed. I put my milk and magnesia on, a little castor oil under my eyes, and I like to read. And then Kent and I pray every night. One of us prays every night. Every other night we alternate. And it's just a great way of ending our day and trying to be grateful for things. So that's a typical day. I mean, that really is a typical day. If I'm going to the salons, it's different. If I'm driving to one of my salons, or if I have to fly to one of my salons. I haven't been to Ohio in almost 2 years because of COVID. But I also have amazing women there. And but that's a typical day. Okay, a couple more. If you're bored, stick with it. If not, how is it being an entrepreneur? Oh, that's a good question. We have been entrepreneurs since we were young. We have always tried. Kent always says we put a poker in the fire and see what goes. It can be difficult because being the boss, you're always the one everyone is not going to like, or they're going to make things difficult for you. Having employees, I hate that word because they're like family to us, has been so difficult through the years, and most especially in the past few years. I don't know why. That's the hardest part for me about being an entrepreneur. I am an empathetic, I am a true being and kind, and I think people don't believe that, or they try to poke at me because they know I'm kind. They try to take advantage of me. And that has been really a sad thing, especially after COVID. For any of you who go to my Santa Barbara salon, having those girls walk out on us was devastating and cruel, quite honestly. And I don't know if it's greed, I don't know if it's jealousy, I don't know why people behave like that, because I don't even know how to behave like that. I don't even know how to treat someone like that. It's not in my DNA. I have loved the adventures that Kent and I have had. I read something yesterday that said, how did it go? Enjoyment or incredible things happen in uncertainty, or they're hiding in uncertainty. And Kent and I will move if we have an opportunity to open a salon, which we did before COVID. We moved to Ohio to open that salon. We moved to Santa Barbara to open that salon. We will do what it takes to make something happen for us. We're not the type of people to wait for someone else to do it for us. We don't have that kind of family. We weren't raised in a family where everyone handed things to us. We've had to do it on our own. And so I don't get people who don't work hard or don't go after their goals, because that's who I am. I am going to, if there's something that needs to be done, I want to do it and I want to make it happen. And I want to help others to do that. And I love that. But again, I get kind of taken advantage of. Being an entrepreneur is hard. You put your money where your mouth is, or you put the investment in. And many times it can be your last dollar. So any of you out there doing that, I know how hard it is. Don't give up. Keep pushing forward. Tell yourself you're where you're supposed to be, even when it doesn't feel right or it feels scary. I always say, when I'm going with the river, it feels really good. When I'm going against it, it can feel a little off. But I think right now with COVID and the way the world is and everyone's so angry and unhappy, I just think it's a tough place to be positive. It's a tough place to take chances. But try to be the change you wish to see in the world. Keep yourself super positive. Don't let other people steal your joy. A lot of this is just a blip in our life. And I like to look back, and I think at my age, and I know some of my dear friends that are even older will look back and say, it was a blip in our life. And at the time it felt so scary and so awful, and we weren't gonna make it, and we wanted to give up. But we got through it and we came out the other side, which is where the learning happens, I think. Going through it, coming out the other side and realizing, wow, that's why that happened. That's the reason. And that's where I am right now. I really have learned in the past, even just couple months with moving again to a home that felt it was uncertain for a while, in an area that was uncertain, that this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm not going to let fear and uncertainty change the entrepreneurial person in me, or change my giving heart. I like who I am. I love to be like this. And really, you know, even if something dramatic happens, it's not going to change my life. I'm still here. Kent is still here. My children are still here, and I'm alive. Now, if I had that kind of loss, I can see that rocking my world. But anyway, that's going a little deeper, but that's how it is to be I'm an entrepreneur. And if you are one, or you have questions about a business or something, ask me. I might be able to help, I might not, or we can just, go back and forth and share our ideas. Why do you recommend other lines like dermatology? This is a great question. When a product line approaches me, and a lot of them do, and a lot of companies approach me to test their devices, I don't say yes to everybody, but there's so many devices out there right now that I want to, because I want to really see what works and what doesn't. You already know that. And as far as product lines go, there's some that I know the ingredients are not great. There's so many out there that are not great. But when dermatology approached me and I read their ingredients and their labels, and also they were so lovely to work with, I found that they had things I didn't have. I don't have a neck cream. I don't have an eye cream. I don't have a great sunscreen. I don't have tingle pads. What would be another thing I love with dermatology? You all know. So when someone has something I don't, and it can fit well into my Peaches regimen, someone got on me for saying regime. I'm sorry guys, I've said it forever. It is a regimen, forgive me, but my regimen, and when it works together, I love to be able to bring it on and give people an alternative. There's so many that don't work, and people know I don't like when you mix my products with other things, because it's really mixing pure antioxidant small batch skincare with watered down chemicals, or altered pharmaceutically, or really chemicals that can cause irritations on your skin. But while I tested dermatology for at least 8 months before I even recommended it to all of you, I saw how it worked really well together. So that's really my answer as to why I may recommend something else. Okay, how long have you been married? Oh, 35 years. It'll be 35 years in October. We're very excited. And I guess that's enough for question and answers today. I hope you stuck till the end of the video. I hope some of this helped you, or you got to know me a little bit better. Someone else asked, what am I? I am Puerto Rican. I am Middle Eastern. I am a woman of the world. My mother was Swedish and German, and that's why I have such dark skin. I don't sit there and lay in the sun, but I love the sun, and I am a beach girl. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all stay beautiful naturally.